Hello SLAPAFISH community, and welcome back to another World Tank Console video. So in this video, I'm going to be driving the Jaguar 1, which is the brand new Era 3 Western Alliance tank destroyer, also ATGM only. So I'm going to be showing you two matches. The first match is my very first ever match in the Jaguar 1. This is my very first look of the Jaguar. Now, as you can notice, I'm running rations. That was not intentional. I was supposed to be running smoke screen, and you're gonna see me do a move, and I'm gonna realize, wait, I don't have smoke screen, because I'm gonna do it intentionally, and it's gonna be like one of the first things I do, and it's gonna be like, oh, I don't have smoke. Anyway, so mistake. I fixed that. The second match is my average game after like 20. Basically, I played 20 battles in this tank. Then I got an average game from those 20. After those 20, average damage, average assist. And yeah, that's what that match is. So, Jaguar 1. What's good about this tank? What's bad about this tank? Good things. It has the best gun depression in the game at 20 degrees. It also has the highest penetration at 1,250. It also has best damage in Era 3 at 1,470. It also has, this is the part, it also has the best reverse speed of any tank in the game, which is 70 kilometers, which also is its top speed forward and reverse. So it's just like the MBT-70 in the same era that has its same top speed as its reverse speed, forward speed as its reverse speed. It also has the third best stealth concealment in the game. When you max them all out, the Weasel is number 1 at 35 meters. The M50 Ontos is second at 53 meters, and this tank, the Jaguar 1, is third at 55 meters. So very close to all three. So very good. It's very good concealment. Like, super good concealment. So, what about this tank? Like I said, the specialties is that high penetration on its ATGMs, high damage, and it's 20 degrees of gun depression, and that concealment all working together, plus that reverse speed all working together, makes this tank actually formidable. It really does. What else? Now, a flaw with this tank, it does have terrible traverse speed. Now, the traverse speed on its track is 44 degrees a second, which may seem fast, but it's not. Because 44 degrees a second is actually pretty fast. But on this tank, it's slow. Don't know why it's slow. Also, that was an ammo rack on the 477A. What else? Which can be negated because of your 70 reverse speed. So, yeah. What else? You have no armor. The ATGMs are extremely slow. They're possibly the slowest ATGMs in the game. Even slower than the 1311s, the MX 1311 missiles. And those things are extremely slow. So that means you gotta give a lot of... Well, that's a good thing and a bad thing. A good thing is... Well, let's talk about the bad thing first. Bad thing is when tanks are rushing you and they're coming around a corner, you could definitely miss. Or if you're flying close... Well, if a tank is off in the distance, it's going to take forever for your ATGM to get there. And by that time, they can get in cover or drive away or do something else. But the good thing about it, also the first game I did was 8,200 damage, 5 kills, and 1,014 assists, which was a really good match. And I was like, wow, this tank's kind of fun. I was having fun in that match. So the second match is my average game after like 20 battles. So yeah, this is what my average game of the Jaguar 1 looks like. So enjoy. What else? What was I talking about? Anyway, Oh yeah, the ATGMs being slow when you're fighting tanks at a distance means you can easily switch targets. So yeah, easily switch targets. Like one target that you're aiming for is hiding behind cover. Well, you can always switch targets because they're just slow enough for that. So it's a good thing and a bad thing that they're slow. Yeah. Also, you're going to see me use the concealment really nicely in this tank. My assist damage in this tank is really high. So, before I get into anything else or this match starts getting... starts picking up in steam, let's talk about the equipment. I went Advanced Concealment, Powertrain, Traction System, and the Enhanced Target Info. My commander skills is Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Silent Driving, Supply Conservation, Muffle Shot, Camouflage Expertise, Green Thumb, Sixth Sense, and Situational Awareness. So basically concealment, speed, and spotting. That's basically what I went with the Jaguar. So now let's talk about another bad thing. Now, Jaguar has terrible horsepower per ton. Well, it's not terrible. It's okay. It's okay. You get up to your top speed, but it's not as fast as you probably want it. It's a 19.61 horsepower per ton. Terrain resistance are good. There's not really a lot of things I could say about this tank. I've heard a lot of opinions about this tank being terrible and stuff just because the weasel's in the game, but I don't really compare tanks to other tanks anymore. I don't. It's kind of hard to explain. Like, there's a lot of good tanks that can be great, but people look at another tank and be like, oh, this tank exists. There's no reason to get this tank. I don't do that. I like to look at a tank at its own. What is it good at? What's its strengths? What's its weaknesses? Yes, the Weasel exists for this tank. The Weasel exists. Weasel has its strengths and its weaknesses. This tank has its strengths and its weaknesses. Like the 292 versus the 477. Strengths and weaknesses. Anyway, to get off that. So, you could definitely hit weasels on the move on this tank. I have hit multiple weasels with my ATGMs and goodbye weasels. Just like that. The more you play this tank, the more you're going to get used to it. If that makes sense. Which is the same for all other tanks in the game. The more you play with the tank, the more you get used to it. So, yeah, one of the favorite things that I like about this is the high penetration, high damage, and that reverse speed. I seen that reverse speed and I was like, I want this tank. Just because of the reverse speed. Because I love the MBT-70 because of the reverse speed. I never had any idea that this tank had 20 degrees of gun depression until after my second match. And I started watching videos on it. Ricky's video, to be precise. I was like, this tank gets 20 degrees and that's insane. Also, this is me running away. Oh yeah, this is, since your, what do you want to call it? Missile launcher is kind of like faced in the front. You can't aim at people behind you, so you just got to run away. But that's also where your concealment comes into play. So, you know how hard it is to chase a weasel and it just kind of just disappears? That's basically what this thing does. Also, this is a terrible shot on the 477. Should have not aimed there. Should have aimed for the lower, like the back half of the 477. But that's probably because of how slow the missiles are. Yeah. That's one of the weaknesses of the Jaguar. Just because of how slow the missiles are. And stuff like that. Either way, I think it's a good tank. Honestly. And if you want to see me actually playing this, I did a live stream yesterday with Ricky, and we were both playing Jaguars in this tank. Playing Jaguars on that live stream. So if you want to see more replays of that and seeing how my other games went, there you go. If you want to. Anyway, so the average damage I do in this tank per match is 6,000. But my combined damage is 7,000. Combined is 7,000, which is my third highest combined damage of any tank I own. So I enjoy it. Honestly, I enjoy this tank. It makes silver. It's fun to play. It's fun to hammerite tanks. But it's up to y'all. If you want to get it, that's up to you. So, if you like this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Also remember to SLAPAFISH because Walsh Nut. And peace out. See ya.